Utopian project Toga Deer by Lauren, Anna Marie, Julia, and Selena. Toga Deer is our chosen name for our utopia because it means together, and it's meant to be a symbol of the unity of the people and working as a community to bring peace and prosperity. Working together as a community fosters a sense of national pride, as well as helping to further develop personal traits such as empathy, listening, team-oriented thinking, and altruism. When people work together, they are able to come to a solution quickly that would be more effective than one created through singular input. It is a word that ties in all the important aspects of our culture that brings us together into a community of valued individuals. Our name is the first thing that people would hear about us, and we would like the first impression to leave a positive idea in their mind of how welcoming and community-oriented our society would be.
For our flag, we chose to place a sunflower as an emblem in the center of the flag. This is symbolic of longevity and healing, also symbolic of the sun. The sunflower is surrounded by 5 diagonal stripes in the colors green, blue, and purple. Green for growth, harmony, and endurance, blue for safety, wisdom, and health, and purple for freedom, peace, and creativity. The emblem itself is outlined in white for safety and beginnings. We chose these colors because we felt that beyond simply being aesthetically pleasing, they also hold important meanings that we feel apply to the values held in our country's culture, as well as corresponding to our pillars to a certain extent. The meaning behind these colors and the central emblem are meant to describe, in short, an ideal version of our society. Our country would be placed in a valley framed by a mountain range and a river. Mountains because they isolate the country without completely cutting it off from outside sources. This allowing the country to grow its own sense of itself and its culture while still having access to outside influences without being overpowered. Mountains also provide a sort of natural protection from outside forces since they are difficult to traverse. As well as all this, mountains are a popular location for recreational activities such as hiking and skiing, often used as a kind of remote getaway for travelers, and this can be used to help bring revenue to the country through recreation industries. The river would supply the country with a source of water as well as fertile land, which could be used in farming to provide food for the country. The river could also help to supply food in the form of aquatic animals that could be eaten by the population. In addition to all this, the river provides a source of transportation via boats.
Public transportation in our utopia includes electric-powered trains that are good for the environment and are able to move a large mass of people across the landscape without the essential need for motor vehicles, particularly for people who are living in cities who don't own a car because it's not completely necessary, or the people who cannot afford a car. These barriers should not prevent individuals from being able to travel from one city to another, and the use of trains would make this possible. This would also help reduce traffic problems on highways, since less people would be on the roads. Also, buses would be available in cities as an effective way for people to get from one place to another when it is too far to walk but would take too long to drive due to traffic in the city. Our motto was inspired by our country flower, a sunflower. Sunflowers are known to always turn towards the sun, and they thrive best when they have light from the sun. We believe that our citizens should have free will to control their lives and choose their life path without any influence from others. The sun represents what each citizen loves and wants to pursue, what they value, and their special talent that is unique to them. We believe that having our citizens find their gifts and use them to continue and better their communities around them is important to maintaining a utopian society. Leadership defines the success of a country based on the intelligence, ethics, and sense of duty of a leader. Societies need some form of structured leadership with a set of fair laws for society to continue to function productively. Voting is an integral part of society, and every citizen 18 or above has the right to choose which ballot candidate that they would like to represent them in the federal government. An executive would have the right to pass laws that have to be approved by an assembly of selected representatives and respond to emergency situations with peaceful decisions. Sweden is one example of a country with a capable government in which the people get to vote every 4 years for political parties that will represent them in the Swedish constitution, making up their 4 basic rights. The 4 basic rights would give citizens the right to obtain information freely, have religious freedom, etc. The Act of Succession regulates the members that accede to the Swedish throne. Freedom of the Press Act, public access to official documents, and law of freedom of expression, the prohibition of censorship. Based off of this, our government would only censor high-end secrets and allow for any diffusion of popular culture, and allow for citizens to respond with any opinion they may have. Unlike Sweden, however, we won't have a monarchy, and the representative democracy works well in this utopia due to the citizens' ability to participate in the government, but also correct leadership of educated officials making decisions on the course of the country.
Education is a prominent aspect of any society, as it promotes learning among people, advancements in technology, grows relationships among all scholars, and emphasizes finding truth to the world. Our society would be focused on educating the young children of the population on basic principles such as language, mathematics, science, and history of the world. Beyond the basic subjects, students would be encouraged to work hard and strive for the best of themselves throughout their education. In the high schools, there would be no published class rank. At graduation, the top 10%, as well as the valedictorian and salutatorian, would be honored, but students would not know up until just prior to graduation where they stand in rank. This would work to emphasize compassion and helping each other rather than competition, which can be detrimental to the self-esteem of students. Our education system would be split up into 3 levels consisting of kindergarten through 6th grade, 7th grade through 9th, and 10th through 12th grade. 6th grade would be a part of elementary school so that there is enough mental preparation in a setting that is familiar with the students while they are going through puberty. We chose to move 9th grade back to middle school because we felt that starting in the 10th grade, students become more focused on the future, first beginning to think about college and possibilities for future careers. Our education system will also focus on better preparing kids for the transition to each new school so that they feel more comfortable when they first enter a new level of schooling. The transition to middle school will be eased by combating the biggest source of stress, which is the switching of classes from kindergarten through 3rd grade. Students will remain with 1 teacher, and in 4th grade, students will begin to switch between 2 teachers. In 5th grade, they'll switch between 3, and in 6th grade, they will switch between 6 classes. There would be free education up until 12th grade, and afterwards, students would be expected to pay for their college, with scholarships also being widely available. This is really similar to the education in much of the Western world. However, it would differ in the sense that there would be more optional courses in the higher grades based on what each student would like to achieve. For example, instead of being required to take a course path such as biology, chemistry, and then physics, students would have the opportunity to select which 4 science courses to take that would most benefit them in the future. High school is future-oriented, focused on helping a student find and further explore paths a student is considering or is interested in, having optional interviews or mentorships with people from a variety of occupations, and learning more about what may be beneficial to stability in adult life. This may help to bring down the high rate at which college students tend to change their major often within the first year, this rate being up to 60% of students. While it is good for students to have the ability to switch majors and explore, the expense of changing your major even once can be very high. By giving students a chance to learn more about possible fields of study early on, students are more likely to pick a major that they know they will enjoy, bringing down the rate at which students tend to switch major.
Taking care of oneself is sometimes impossible without the proper support from experts and the proper technology of modern medicine and machines. Our society has primary health care that covers the basics such as doctor checkups, emergency care, and necessary surgeries for life. Other desired surgeries are paid by the individual based on what they want and what the price is. Private insurance is also available to those who choose to have it, but it is not necessary. France is a prime exhibit of decent healthcare. All of the main care is covered by the government, with most citizens having private insurance. They make a conscious effort to make their healthcare affordable. However, there is a problem of crowding due to high demand and affordability, causing some to have to book appointments months in advance or pay extra for private healthcare. But this is a small price to pay for everyone to have access to private healthcare. Besides, the unites people and gives people a sense of belonging. Cultures are a representation of how people live and think, in which many cultures have various perspectives on issues and how these ideas are represented. While it is important to have shared cultural values such as equality, humility, and respect, it is also important for individuals to maintain their unique customs because increased diversity in culture also promotes innovation in fields such as different forms of the arts, sports, literature, and etc. Our country will have a shared culture based on bonding through respect of each other's unique perspectives and cultivating understanding that everyone is different and have their own lifestyles, but also emphasizing preservation and education about other cultures. Because of their differences, people will be able to bring unique ideas and innovation to the table that may be relevant to societal needs. This is similar to how a business may bring in a psychologist when designing a new store because they can provide insight in making the storefront more appealing to their specific customer or enhancing something when they enter the store, such as how a grocery store will typically use reds and yellows because they are known to increase hunger. Each culture thinks of the world in a completely different way. Take, for example, in some cultures, when asked for directions to a location, people will give instructions based on cardinal directions, while in other cultures, they may simply use relative directions such as right or left, and in still other cultures, they may use landmarks or street signs. Each of these, while similar in many aspects, are useful in different ways depending on various factors such as how well someone knows their location or how far they're traveling. Because of this, it's best to combine various ways of thinking in order to reach a more effective method of solving a problem. This cultural diffusion educates individuals on the culture of a people, but doesn't harmfully influence them in any way. Similar to our utopia, Norwegian culture places high emphasis on acceptance of other groups of people, but still has their specific set of values unique to the Norwegian culture.
Also held in high esteem in our country are three more abstract sub-pillars, these being equality, open-mindedness, and communication. Equality is meant in the sense that everyone is treated as an equal, and no one individual is seen as better than others. This is especially important in regards to things such as race, gender, religion, social class, etc. No one should be looked down upon or viewed as inferior, even subconsciously, for any one of these things, and we feel it is important to put into words that we will accept nothing less than complete respect for others, based on impersonal aspects. Equality is important in a society because it puts people on the same level and allows people to respect others more, this opening the door for further cooperation and collaboration through a deeper understanding and compassion for others.
Also important is a sense of open-mindedness, simply defined as a willingness to work together in a society, to understand each other and solve issues affecting everyone both directly and indirectly. It is important for people to show respect for others even if they do not like them, and to be willing to listen to each other and their concerns so that they can work together to come to a solution everyone agrees on and is confident in.
Finally is communication, which serves the purpose of tying everything together. In an emphasis on communication, we encourage both an increased effort to speak with other individuals, especially those who you have different views from. This going hand in hand with open-mindedness. As well as this, we also emphasize the importance of asking questions or for help when necessary so that people are able to take themselves further and don't feel so alone when they are struggling. Also important in communication is in the way it goes hand in hand with our fourth pillar, culture. Communication, in this more literal sense, refers to encouragement to learn about others and their culture, as well as their unique languages. This increased communication is meant to lead to an increased understanding of each other, making it easier to work together and foster a supportive community and national identity focused on mutual respect. All in all, the purpose of the society is to foster a healthy environment of communication, equality, and open-mindedness that allows individuals to pursue their own aspirations in life that is beneficial to everyone else. For this utopia to be successful, respecting others whether or not you agree with them is a crucial part of progress in debates, understanding and sympathizing with perspectives, and furthering knowledge over the unknown. Leadership, education, health, and culture are concrete aspects to a blossoming, flourishing society, while also developing moral and abstract concepts that invigorate and embellish our community. A society that values its citizens' ideas and encourages open communication is destined to succeed. Find your light and never stray.